I'm yours, welcome to 23. You're joining me for BloodBound 2, Chapter 14, The First. You stare in horror at Eric Balthazar, the head of the Order, as he stands flanked by armed soldiers. Or rather, the man who was once thought to be Balthazar. You can call me Xenocrats. Oh my god. That name. I've heard it before. Camila steps forward, placing herself in front of you all, as her dagger slides from hidden sheaths. Because he was turned by the first vampire, just as Gaius was. He's the first son. Balthazar bears his fangs as Gaius' name. You know nothing, whelp. Nothing! Call me that again, and I'll break you in half, old man. Balthazar's men swiveled to aim their crossbows at Camila. Try it. Give me the word, Grand Cleric. I'll end them here and now. Hold steady, soldier. I can take them myself. Jax glances at you uneasily. So if he's as close to the first vampire as Gaius, does that mean he's crazy powerful? More than you can imagine. Now step aside from the tree of eternal life, or I will strike you down. That's at Adrian, and he nods. Reluctantly, you all step away. I don't understand. The head of the Order of the Vampire Hunters is a vampire? Could you betray your own kind like this? How could you kill so many of us? I am not one of you. You are the spawn of Gaius, abominations like him. Hey, I'm not the spawn of that freak. Oh, you are. When Rhea died, there were only two vampires, Gaius and I never turned anyone. Every last one of you blight is his spawn. Even if that's true. Enough! You come into my home, my domain. You desecrate this place. You stand before me, monsters cloaked in human skin. Jax glowers and unsheathes a sword, but Adrian puts his arm out to stop him. With a deep breath, you step forward. Balthazar. Balthazar, I'm human. Someone you're trying to protect, right? So tell me. How have you survived this long? If you're a vampire, doesn't that mean you need to drink blood to survive? He scoffs at the question. Living off blood of others. Such a disgusting means of existence. You still do it, though. Only the bare minimum. Donated by the willing. Just a few drops every week. Just enough to stay alive. Drinking so little it has aged me. Changed my appearance, but I do not regret it. Doesn't the hunger drive you mad? Perhaps it did once. Then I learned to ignore it, to focus instead of on something sweeter. Righteous vengeance. What happened between you and Gaius? Once I understood the evil that Rhea was inflicting, I also understood that I had to stop it. So I killed her. Impaled her on the very tree that gave her life. I was able to escape as Gaius grieved, but I soon came to realize that I should have stayed to end him too. In Rhea's name, he began to travel all across Europe, spreading his bloodline across the continent, creating an army of his brood, an army that fed and killed and slaughtered. Yes, I knew I had to do something to counter him. But you couldn't do it alone. No, I am but one man. So I recruited humans to join my cause, good people, soldiers, warriors, knights, to try and stop this vampire plague. And they follow you even though you're a vampire? Only my trusted officers know, and they understand, don't you? Gaius' line in his abomination. Grand Cleric Balthazar, touched by the light. Good God. We had almost succeeded in wiping out the vermin in the 16th century, and then Gaius fled to the New World, out of my grasp, where he built his shadow kingdom. So all of this, all of history, was just a war between you two? A spat between siblings? Petty. Pathetic. Righteous. How did you start the order? He's quiet for a moment, his eyes linger on the tree. I was the first disciple of Rhea, the first vampire to be turned. I was her advisor, her strategist, her right hand. I served many years at her side, as faith and foolish as a mutt. I believed she could accomplish great many things. But I was wrong. All she accomplished was bloodshed, strife, cruelty, misery. So many killed, so many. She went mad with power, mad with grief. All she cared about was herself, her ascension. I came to understand what she was, what we were, are, and I had to end it. By doing the same thing she did. Do not compare me to her. She hurt people, innocents. I've only hunted beasts. If you hate vampires so much, then why bother trying to stay alive? Aren't you the one abomination you hate? Oh, I am. And I loathe every single miserable thing about my existence. I loathe my hunger, my strength. I loathe myself. When the last spawn of Gaius is dead, I walk into the sunlight and be grateful as I burn. But not a day sooner. Balthazar, listen to me. We're on the same side. We want to stop Gaius as much as you do. He's gone too far. He's mad with power. That's why we're here in the first place. To find a way to kill him. Just like you killed the first. He cocks his head to the side, considering your words, and curls his upper lip in derision. Such petty words. But I know better than to trust the Blood Queen herself says. What? Camilla seems shaken by the title, even taking a half step back. Oh, yes, I know all about you, consort of Gaius, his so-called queen, a monster as vile and cruel as he was. As if I would ever take your word after what the two of you did in Argos, in Phasaelis, in Pompeii. Camilla's expression hardens as she comes back to herself. I did many terrible things in my youth, Balthazar. Things I will regret to my dying day. But so did you. You are not the first son anymore, and I'm no longer the Blood Queen. I've changed, grown, just as we all have. She approaches him, hand held out before her, an offering. If you accept our help, we can work together to put a stop to Gaius for good, to end this nightmare and prevent more violence. To build a better world. Balthazar looks down at Camilla's hand, his face blank. He reaches out as if to clasp it, but instead slaps it away. Like hell. He turns to his soldiers. Kill them. The order soldiers loose the crossbow bolts at you. Ah! Jax and Camilla dive to the side. A bolt hurtles at you, and Adrian lunges forward, shielding you with his body. One bolt punches into his shoulder, another into his side. Arrgh! He rips the bolt out of his shoulder and hurls it at the soldier who shot it, catching him in the throat. Adrian, are you okay? Don't worry about it. Let's just focus on taking them out. Got it. You lift the crossbow you took from Jax and aim it at the nearest order soldier. Hey assholes, let's see how you like it. You pull the trigger and the bolt goes flying through the air. Ah! The bolt hits the soldier in the chest, sending her crashing to the ground. Hell yeah. Another soldier pulls out his electric sword to charge at you, but you fire another bolt at him. It nails him in the shoulder, driving him down with a scream. Oh yeah, I could get used to this. Nearby Jax fends off two soldiers at once, while Adrian goes for Balthazar. But despite his appearance and age, he moves with startling quickness, effortlessly avoiding Adrian's attacks. Oh, you so damn fast! Adrian hurls a punch, and Balthazar catches his fist, squeezing hard enough to crush his hand. Experience triumphs you, boy. Cause a distraction. Hey, old man! You pick up a nearby rock and throw it at him. It bounces harmless off the shoulder. Your order's pathetic and you're going to lose. Balthazar's eyebrow twitches as he spares you an unimpressed glance. I'd hope to end this without taking a human knife, but it appears you've decided to test my resolve. He steps towards you, and Jax dives forward, smashing a fist across Balthazar's face with a flying leap. Yes, get him. Jax hits the ground and turns around, then stares at his hand in disbelief. I think he broke my wrist with his face. I'm just getting started. Nearby, Camilla charges two soldiers with a growl. They level their crossbows at her and fire. She drops low, sliding towards them on her knees as the bolts whistle over her head. Oh crap! She slides between them, daggers whistling through the air in hot streaks. The two soldiers stand there stunned, and then they both collapse. Stay down. Yet, even as she gloats, the commander comes up behind her, his electric sword raised. No! I should warn Camilla. Push her out of the way. It's my crossbow. Watch out! Camilla spins away just in time as you fire the crossbow. The bolt hits the commander right on the side. Ugh! He lurches away and Camilla grabs him in a headlock, shattering his neck with a brittle crack. Good shot. I do my best. Amy, are you okay? Yeah, I think so. For now, anyway. Good. Just a few more left. She joins Adrian in squaring off against Balthazar, who's still holding his own. Nearby, Jax fights the remaining soldiers. Come on. The soldier fires her crossbow, but Jax deflects it with a swing of a sword. That's the best you got. On the ground before you, you notice a fallen electric sword. Toss it to Jax. Jax, incoming! You pick up the sword and toss it to him. He grabs it without looking, a grin spreading across his face. Now it's a party. Wielding both swords at once, Jax runs at the guards, slicing through them with a whirl, dropping 1, 2, 3. Yes! You and Jax turn at the sound of a strangled shout. Adrian! Adrian hangs back from the fight, his right arm mangled, nearly cut off at the elbow. Balthazar paces towards him, holding one of the trooper's swords. Pathetic, all of you. Camilla rushes at him, but he goes backwards. He just backhands her, and she goes flying, sliding back along the floor. Blood trickles from her lip. You... Before she can stop him, Jax charges at Balthazar, their swords lock with a horrible scraping sound. 3 against 1, and you're still losing. That guy's blood is much thinner than I thought. Ugh. Balthazar takes advantage of an opening and drives his sword into Jax's stomach. Both of Jax's swords go clattering across the floor as Balthazar kicks him down, pressing his boot into Jax's chest. Jax, no! Balthazar laughs hoarsely as he lifts his sword, aiming to sever Jax's head from his body. No! But before Balthazar can let his sword fall, he staggers back, holding his head. Ugh! He cries out in pain and falls to his knees, gasping and wheezing. Jax quickly gets up and scrambles away, retrieving his sword. He looks towards the door and sees... Lily. Miss me? Sorry I'm late, but I had to make a quick stop by the holding cells first, because look who I found. Someone who's going to make them all pay. Seraphin steps forward and holds her hand out, hooking a psychic attack on Balthazar. Seraphin. Thank God. Hello, everyone. Sorry if I've caused you any distress. We're just glad to see you alive. Balthazar tries to fight against the psychic blast, his hand curling tighter around his sword hilt. You abomination! That's it, Seraphin. Just hold him there. Behind Lily and Seraphin, someone emerges from the shadows, aiming a crossbow at Seraphin's back. Step away. Oh, it's you. You remember him as a cadet from the classroom, the one who asked if all vampires were irredeemable. Nobody make any sudden movements. Why are you doing this? Why are you with them? I thought this place would be exciting, that I could go on adventures, and I could save people. You don't have to fight us. We don't want to hurt you, but if you get in our way, we'll have no choice. We have an important mission, One that will save countless lives, but all your order wants is to destroy us. Please make the right choice. Balthazar growls and glares at the recruit. You coward, I'll kill you. I killed them all. The recruit, still shaking, lifts his crossbow higher. Amy. Camilla's eyes meet yours, and the implication is clear. The choice is yours. Oof. Oof. Still walk away from this kid. You raise your hands and step towards the recruit. Please, we don't want to hurt you. Just put the crossbow down and we'll let you leave. You will? You nod and the recruit glances at Balthazar, who shakes under Seraphin's hold. He won't be a threat to you. We'll make sure of it. The recruit's eyes fill with frightened tears. I didn't want any of this. I just want to go home. He throws the crossbow away from him, and you relax slightly. Thank you. You made the right choice. Bear the recruit. No. Thank you for helping me realize what I should have done a long time ago. Are we just going to let him go? We should at least tie him up in case he's lying. If that's what you need to do. He hesitantly holds his wrist out and Camilla ties them together with a scrap of fabric from a dead soldier's uniform. Sit there against the wall while we deal with your boss. Yes, ma'am. Seraphin continues her hold over Balthazar, who trembles and growls. He's strong and resisting. I don't know how much longer I can hold out. Let's end this quickly, then, with the stake. Camilla walks up to the tree of eternal life, knife in hand. Carefully, she presses the blade against the cut she made earlier. Then she hesitates. Camilla? When she pulls the knife away, it's streaked with glimmering red substance. If we drink this, we'd be strong enough to defeat Gaius, to stand against him as equal in power. Adrian comes to stand beside her, looking grim. They exchange a knowing glance. Drinking from the tree, it would change us forever. There'll be no going back. The people we were, that we are now, will go away forever. It would be death. I had a taste of that back when I took the serum. I lost myself, trapped in my body, but powerless to control it. It was worse than death. But this is undoubtedly the surrealist way to stop Gaius. It must be done. Camilla brings a knife up to her lips, but Adrian gently grabs her wrist. He takes the knife from her, and she stares at him in surprise. Adrian, it should be me. Balthazar is right. The things I've done, the blood I've shed, look at everything I've done. No. You're finally beginning to forgive yourself, Camilla. I can't let you go through that horror again. You've transcended the darkness, but it's all I am. It's what I am. Let me do this. She opens her mouth to reply and then closes it with a shaky breath. We have to defeat Gaius. He created me to be a monster. So a monster is what I'll become. He raises the knife to his lips. Stop! You rush towards him, your hand extended. Adrian turns to you, surprised. Amy, I'm sorry, but I have to do this. No, you don't. You take a piece of the branch, you break it off, and you go stab Gaius. Win-win. But you don't. Please reconsider. Camilla's right. This will change you. You deserve so much more than to become the thing that Gaius wanted you to be. Amy. Grab Adrian's wrist and hold the knife as far away from him as possible. I can't let you do this. I won't. He sighs, glancing at the red substance that drips steadily off the knife's edge. I wish there was another way, but... Of course there's another way. The stake that we came here for, remember? Adrian. I won't let you sacrifice your goodness. You are not a monster no matter what Gaius told you. You're a man who endured so much, but always comes out stronger. It's the strength that will beat Gaius. Stooping to his level is just playing right into his hands. Adrian's silent eyes still on the knife. You can feel the tension in his wrist you're holding. This won't make you stronger. This won't give us an edge. Don't you see it's your kindness and compassion that gives us the advantage over Gaius? You find goodness despite your past and what you've been through. You have decency, and Gaius will never have that. Adrian's breath catches at your words, and slowly he lowers the knife. Amy. Breathing out a sigh of relief, you cup his cheek and press your mouth to his. He returns the kiss tenderly, grateful, sweeping your hair back as he presses your face. You're the most incredible person I've ever met. I'm so sorry. I thought... You don't have to become a monster, Adrian. You're not a monster. Mila. We're better than him. We're better than what he turned us into. Mila reaches down and squeezes Adrian's hand. Let's stand together. Stand strong and show him that. He nods and Camilla looks on with musty eyes, giving you a thankful smile. Collecting himself, Adrian uses a knife instead to carve out a stake in the tree's bark. This is all we need. Pathetic. All of you. You turn back to Balthazar, who's slowly regaining control over himself. Seraphin is shaking, sweat rolls down her face. I can't hold him. No, you can't. He manages to flick a wrist, and a small device appears in his hand. His thumb hovers over a button. What the hell is that? Balthazar looks up at you, and his eyes burn with hatred. Holy fire! No! Jack leaps forward, swinging his katana in an arc. His blade cuts through the air, dazzling slash. Balthazar's head flies clean off his body in a spray of blood. His body wobbles. We did it. But even as it dissolves to ash, you see his thumb move, pressing down on the button. A massive explosion thunders from above. The tomb shakes all around you as dust falls from the ceiling. Oh, what the hell was that? I think Balthazar just hit the self-destruct button. Which is our cue to get out of here. You nearly fall over there as the tomb shudders under the forces of the faculty above detonating. Adrian steadies you as a boom and crashes echo down through the earth, making the walls groan behind you. The elevator shaft crumples. How do we get out of here? Even as she's asking the question, you all duck as a wall crumbles and falls, revealing another section of the underground facility. That's our only way out. Come on. As you rush out, you stop to pull the recruit you saved to his feet and push him along after the group. Thank you, really, I mean it. Just don't make me regret it, okay? Find a tunnel leading out of the courtyard. Behind you, the compound supports are beginning to crack from the outside, and the air's tinged with smoke. Oh my god, he destroyed the whole thing. He didn't want to leave any trace. A flaming piece of plaster falls dangerously close to you, making you gasp and stumble backwards. All in favor of hauling your asses back to the boat? Aye. The young recruit steps forward, his face streaked with dirt and tears. Thank you again for saving me. I probably don't deserve it, but I'm glad to know I was right about your kind. I'll never believe anti-vampire propaganda again. That's good to hear. I owe you all my life. If you ever need a favor in the future, come find me. He watches he carefully makes his way toward the Order's boats, not even looking back at the flaming wreckage. Back on the water, you watch the island of Medea burn. I can't believe it. After so many years of conflict, the heart of the Order is finally destroyed. Camilla and Adrian seem somber, even as Lily flips off the island. Good riddance. Yeah, it's no loss to me. Adrian, Camilla, and Seraphin all spare a glance at each other. I don't know why, but I feel regret. There were countless centuries of history in that place, and Balthazar destroyed it all. The tomb, the Hall of Triumph, all of it gone. Imagine it. Stay alive for thousands of years, driven only by hate. Gaius broke all of us, but I think he might have broken Balthazar, worst of all.
Everyone on the boat contemplates in silence as Adrian rows you back to shore, the fire casting an orange glow on the water. After returning to Elias's villa and settling in, you feel a pang that Elias himself isn't with you. I feel so awful for what happened with Elias.
Despite his origins, he was a good man. If he knew his death culminated in the destruction of the Order's HQ, I think he'd be happy, wherever he is.
You all collapse onto the chairs outside, Jack's starting a fire in the pit. I don't know about y'all, but I'm exhausted. Fighting an evil organization tends to do that. Seraphin clears her throat and sits up straighter. I don't know where to begin with this. But thank you, all of you. It's not nearly enough to express how grateful I am. Her eyes fill with tears, and she wipes them away with a sniff. Adrian comes over to put a hand on her shoulder.
You should have never been taken by the Order in the first place. I'm so sorry, Seraphin.
You couldn't have anticipated the raid, Adrian. But from overhearing the soldiers, I know that many of my patrons escaped. Because of you. So, again, thank you to all of you. Camila smiles and gives Seraphin a hug. Hey, I have a wacky idea. Let's drink. In celebration, you mean? Whatever occasion calls for wine.
We should have drank to honor Elias, at least.
I could definitely use something to relax. It's been so long since I've been together with two of my closest enemies. The occasion warrants a drink. It demands it. I think a drink is exactly what we need. Amy, will you join us? There's a chance to hang out with the whole gang to drink and celebrate, and maybe get a special moment with someone. Count me in. Adrian finds a few bottles of wine and opens them. Once your glasses are full, you lift them up to a toast.
To Elias. He was a brave man, and without his help, wouldn't have gotten this far.
Everyone shouts, "Hear, hear," and takes a sip. Adrian pours some wine into an empty glass for Elias. And to Seraphin for braving the Order. Seraphin smiles softly as all of you shout, "Hear, hear," again, and takes another sip. Words can't describe how relieved I am to be out of that cell. Are you still hurt? I mean, I saw that hook go through you, and she touches her stomach and winches. Still a bit sore, but it's mostly healed. One of the perks of being a vampire. But anyway, enough about that. Who wants to hear about the embarrassing stories about the Adrian from the 1800s? Everyone's hands go up except for Adrian's. Oh, come on. There was a lovely party being held by the local heiress, a widow whose husband had been a successful merchant. But part of why he'd been so successful was because he secretly dealt in the occult, which included collecting mysterious treasures. Let me guess, he had some powerful vampire relic.
It was the very first edition of the Book of the Dead.
No. Yes, naturally, we wanted it, so we invited ourselves to the party, mingling and dancing, and Adrian tried to seduce the heiress to get her to show him where the book was kept.
I bet that went well.
A little too well. The two of them had disappeared behind a curtain. But then the heiress got spooked by a spider, and they fell onto the dance floor completely nude. Adrian.
In my defense, I was much younger.
Just a child of 104. Naturally, it was quite the shock. We had to move towns after that. Adrian sighs as Camila snorts at a laugh and Lily snickers. I'm guessing you didn't get the book after Adrian's noble sacrifice. Adrian was kicked out immediately, but I managed to sneak upstairs during the scandal. Unfortunately, the book was a fake, but I still think it was worth it to see the look on Adrian's face. Aw, poor Adrian. How many people saw, do you think? Oh, at least 100. And then they dragged him outside. His trousers were still down. You all share another laugh while Adrian crosses his arms.
I'll have you know they were all very impressed.
Sure. Seraphin tells a few more stories about her time in America as you all enjoy your drinks. Oh, and then there was the time Camila came to visit. Camila almost chokes on her wine. Dates now. Oh, it was after me and Adrian had our little fling. It was away on business and Camila came. Gives Camila a knowing wink. Camila smirks. No way, you two? It was short, but intense. Very. Of course, when Adrian came back, there was a little bit of jealousy between them. Perhaps a spat or two. I mean, I wouldn't call it a spat. They may have been asked me who was the best lover between them. Lily narrowly spits out her mouthful of wine. I have suddenly lost all ability to hear. Let me guess. Adrian. Adrian lets an eye rout you, but he smiles. Appreciate the vote of confidence. Actually, I didn't answer. I kissed them both and left. Teach me your ways, O wise one. Seraphin waves a hand carelessly. Ah, mon ami, I can teach you much in the ways of attraction, but I'm actually holding on to someone. That's a special skill I haven't yet mastered. But for that, I'm sure our dear Amy would have much better advice. Me? I speak of Adrian, of course. I may have wooed him long ago, but you are a magnificent woman who tamed him. No? Feel a sudden heat prick the back of your neck, and turn to Adrian, who simply smiles. She does have a point. The night goes on, and you share more drinks, tell more stories, and curl up by the fire. Soon you find yourself yawning with exhaustion. You stand up stretching. I feel like I'm gonna pass out any second. I think I'll take one last walk around the vineyard, though. I'd like the chance to say goodbye to this place. That sounds like a wonderful idea, Sherry. Do you need some company? So we have Adrian, Mela, Jax, let me guess Lily. So why is Seraphin not an option? I'm just serious. Maybe you want to spend, no strings attached kind of thing, I'm just saying, if I'm spending diamonds. Take Adrian's hand and slip away, strolling through the vineyard. So. That was pretty intense back there in the tomb with you and the blood. It was. I feel like I came right off the edge of a terrible cliff and you pulled me back. Are you back? Let's out a long, heavy exhale. It's like ever since Guy's return, there's been this dark cloud growing around me. Like I've been losing more and more of myself to it every day. I really thought that I had to do it. That I had become the monster Gaius wanted me to be. But now I see that I was wrong. I'm better than that, I'm better than him. And we're going to defeat him together. You lean forward, giving Adrian a long, tender kiss. He wraps an arm around you and holds you close. Thank you, Amy. You saved me. Yeah, well, I figured it was my turn. Eventually, you two head back into the villa for a few hours of rest. Well, that was kind of lackluster. The next evening, you all gather at the airport as you're prepared to leave. I can't thank you all enough for what you did. We're just glad we were able to help. We were so worried. I know the Order is paid for what they did, but it doesn't feel like enough. There are still so many Order troops out there, new leaders competing for control, so many more to be taken down. Mela puts her hand on Seraphin's shoulder. Once we take care of Gaius, we can think of a plan and come back for you. I look forward to it. Adrian and Camila give Seraphin a hug goodbye. She starts to get teary, whispering to them that she'll see them soon. When she gets to you, Seraphin grins brightly. My dear Amy, what a pleasure it has been to meet you. The pleasure's all mine. She laughs and takes her hand in hers, giving it a gentle squeeze. Kiss her cheek. Lean in, kiss her cheek. Her skin is soft under your lips. Thank you for everything, Seraphin. I'm gonna miss you. She smiles and cups your face in her hand. And I will miss you, monsieur. Seraphin hesitates and glances at the others who are talking among themselves, and she pulls you aside, gripping your hand in both of hers. Is everything all right? I wanted to tell you something before you left, something I felt back in the tomb. When we were in the cave, I felt this menace, a lurking danger, a monster hidden within. Understanding grips you, and your heart sinks. In Adrian, you mean? No. She squeezes your hand even tighter. In you. Amy, you coming? Seraphin squeezes your hands once more before she lets them go. She smiles, and the gesture doesn't quite reach her eyes. Bonne chance, mon ami. A few hours later, en route back to New York, you're still thinking of Seraphin's words. A monster within me? But what does that even mean? Amy, are you alright? You realize you've been glaring at the seat in front of you, blinking, and you blast her on a smile. Yep, I'm fine. If you're sure. We've been talking about what we'll do once we land. Sorry, I must have been spacing out. Can you go through it again? We'll need to meet up with the clan first thing, and then they make up the largest faction of vampires who chose to stay behind. They're the best protected, too. Hopefully while we're there, we can devise a strategy to directly confront Gaius. But I lost contact with Nikhil right around the time we went to the Order's compound, so I have no idea what's going on. I'm sure they're just in hiding. They must... Hey, guys? Lily interrupts by pointing to the small television above the bar. On screen, you see a little red banner that says, Breaking News Report. Turn it up. Lily grabs the remote and presses the volume button until the reporter's voice floods through the plane. I'm here at the scene of a devastating attack on New York City, the likes of which we haven't been seen in years. According to the sources, the city is suffering from mass-scale viral outbreak, resulting in widespread chaos, paranoia, and attacks. Casualties have numbered at 500 and counting. In the light of these recent events, the governor has officially declared martial law. An evacuation of the city is currently underway, and all residents are undergoing... Camera shakes. Suddenly the reporter's scream is cut off at a massive explosion. Screen fills with the words, technical difficulties. All of you stare at the screen until Lily numbly turns the TV off. Oh my god, 500. Adrian balls his hands in fists, still glaring at the screen. Gaius is calling. A vampire war waged in the streets of New York. And it's only just begun. Most people say begun choices, not beginning. Just begun. Just saying it sounds more professional, and college professors would be like, yay, I'll give you a point. Anyway, and that being said, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. And without further ado, please remember, if you did enjoy the content, to please like and share. Leave a comment down below, as well as subscribe if you aren't already. It greatly helps to, subscribe. It helps the community. It also shows your appreciation. Shows you want to continue to watch such content that I produce, which I produce a variety of content. And without further ado, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Goodbye.